Welcome guys, today I have a special treat for you. I have infiltrated the ranks of the Greek Navy and I'm going to be able to do a tour of a boat that they normally don't allow people to tour on. And the man who's made this all possible is my new friend, Mr. Kostas.
Hello.
Who,
Kostas.
without him, I would not be able to go and check out this ship. So, what is the name of the ship we are going to?
It's Trireme Olympias. It's a replica of ancient Trireme, of the Athenian Trireme of the 5th century BC.
The same ones that were used in the Second Persian War.
Yeah, as much as accurate as we believe it is.
And when was this constructed? Because this is obviously a...
1987, I think.
And you used to work here on this ship.
Καλησπέρα. Μίλησες με τον κάπτεν, εντάξει. Sorry κιόλας,
Όχι ρε, απλά δεν έπρεπε να φύγει εδώ αυτό το παιδάκι.
Ναι μωρέ, λίγο εδώ.
Greetings. Are you the guard on the Trireme? Any Persians today?
No.
No? Good. Okay. It's going to be a leisurely tour then. So we'll see about that ship afterwards. But seeing as I think they have a little break here now, like that ship over there is closed now.
What?
The ship over there is closed now.
The Averos or the other one?
The big one.
Yeah, it's closed.
I see.
Due to Corona.
But we came here for the Trireme. So is this the actual size? This is.
Yes, well, I'll tell you what. The blueprints were made by the collaboration of two British guys, as far as I remember, Morrison and Coates. So they used a lot of different references, such as
to make it as.
yeah, Greek history, art, or textbooks, etc. And a disclaimer that I'm not a professional, so and it took 2 years for her to be constructed.
To construct it.
So this is as much as accurate we believe an ancient Athenian Trireme was.
So how have you taken this one out to row? You told me.
You need 170 oarsmen for this.
That's insane. As you can, I'll put in maybe some iPhone footage right now so you can see why it's called a trireme.
Yeah.
I think the Romans in Latin called it triremas, and in ancient Greek it's something very similar, isn't it?
Three.
Meaning three oars.
Yeah, three rows of oars.
So for extra speed.
Yes. For
As
extra
opposed
speed.
to a bireme.
But as far as I know, the extra speed is mostly due to the architecture of the vessel itself.
So in front of that's not a cruise ship, but it's a pretty tiny ship actually behind there. But it makes this trireme look like a miniature. Pretty cool to think that this was the aircraft carrier of its day, the ultimate weapon of war. Athens was able to build this as they found silver in the mountains somewhere around here, and they earmarked the funds to build a new and better fleet of triremes to fight the Persians. Maybe we can get a better view of the ram.
You can see also it has no extra spaces. It's only there are no quarters. These vessels are only used to battle.
This was a war vessel.
This was only
Should
a
we
war
just
vessel.
jump on the ship then instead of rambling here, and then we can do some talking outside here later? Do you think he's ready?
He's waiting.
we were standing over there, and I was trying to think of a funny joke to make, but no joke came to mind, so we decided to just go for it. Yeah. Maybe he has to do some wheeling and dealing, so we were allowed onto it, because those other people who just came were turned down. But he used to work there, he was stationed there for a whole year, so...
It's not work. It wasn't work. You weren't getting paid for this.
Ah, it was unpaid labor. You were a helot. The Spartans were the ones that had helots. Did you call your slaves helots here as well in Athens?
I don't know. Maybe.
Όχι, μόνο στη Σπάρτη.
And for your information, in the Triremes, there were free people, free citizens.
They were free citizens.
Yeah, they were great, and because there was a huge demand for oarsmen, you know, and so if they use slaves, then they give them a free citizenship. They grant them their freedom.
That is, wow, what a ship. I'm excited about this one. Are we waiting for the go-ahead from the commander? He's calling to see if this Viking infiltrator will be allowed to board. All good? We're skipping a rope. Dodging the rope.
We maybe do not have enough time for it, you know.
For what?
We may not have a lot of time.
Oh, okay. We'll make use of that. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, you do.
All right. This is the coolest thing. Thank you so much, man. This is the coolest thing I've done since I arrived here.
No problem.
Unreal.
Είχατε πάει Σαλαμίνα,
Τώρα γυρίσαμε.
Πούτσα,
So who was sitting here then? Who was?
The Triarchos. The Triarchos.
Yeah.
Who was also the owner, I think.
Owner,
And captain.
no captain.
Oh, there was the Kybernetes.
Owner.
The owner.
The owner only.
So where is this controlled from? It's. I see.
No, there's two big. And there was the Pidaliouchos. He was sitting somewhere there.
Here?
So you're turning with these.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this.
One guy.
Yeah, one guy. It's not difficult. I have done this
Ah,
myself.
because it looks to me like something you need, five guys to operate.
No.
Wow. So up here you would have they would have hoplites, right? On top
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
10 hoplites and 4 archers.
10 hoplites.
And 4 archers.
But the main weapon is the ram in the front. That was the weapon of the Trireme.
So I can talk a little bit when I'm on my own about the battles that these were used in and so on. But the most famous battle was it Salamis, where during the second war against the Persians, they were trapped basically. You tricked the Persians into battle, and then were able to ram their ships using.
The ram.
The ram.
Yeah, can we see that from here?
Of bronze.
Can I walk up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
I'm fine. So this was how these ships did their damage. Maximum speed, and then they would ram into the enemy ships.
It is said that it has to be 16 knots in order to ram successfully.
16.
16 knots, yeah. But on the trials, these vessels were initially used on experimental archaeology. So they did a lot of trials to verify if the historians, like Thucydides, were not extragating the capabilities of the Trireme also. So they reached the max speed of 9 knots
9 knots.
With this model that you built.
In modern day.
in modern day.
I see.
But it has great maneuverability.
I see. Are we able to go down here as well, or?
Yes,
Can I just-
if you want.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I want to
Just, be
investigate
careful.
everything on this ship. This is fantastic. Us Vikings, you know, even though it's over, so
You have the
1,500 years later, our ships were a lot smaller than this, and yeah, totally different. They were not for ramming the enemy.
But
So.
you were capable to take advantage of the wind from all directions, as far as I know.
The Viking ships.
Yeah, this ship is not able to use the wind if it's coming from another direction.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Use
Some-
the wind only from one side.
So how many say 2 sails here?
You need a triangle sail, I think, in order to take advantage, to exploit the wind.
Wow, you guys know a lot more about sailing than I do.
No, we do not. I do not.
Let's go down then. Just jump down.
Be careful from this.
It's all good.
I'm not get used to it.
You used to work here. You must have done this many times.
Yeah, I have that. No, it's nice.
Let me see here. So there, we can see the this thing. So they're full speed ahead, and they just ram into the Persian fleet. And if they damage the vessel enough for it to sink, you know, great. If not, sometimes this might be stuck on, you know, into the enemy ship, and then it would turn it into a land battle. And then your hoplites would board the other ships, and
Yes, after the ram, a successful ramming.
how on earth do you have? I don't understand how you have 3 rows of people in here. It's so small.
People used to be smaller back then also.
I see.
And you can
Κάτσε μία να δείξω σκάφο.
So where would the bottom people be? Is there a? Oh, we're getting a demonstration here. So now you would be in the.
every morning I had to go down here in order to check for what if any water was you know
Was coming in.
yeah every
I see.
morning and every night. So people
Two
were
times a day.
2 times a day. So they were
So now, are you in the second row, or are you in the?
I'm on the middle row.
The middle row.
There was the Thranites, Zygites and Thalamites. That's how they used to be called.
So there'd be. Wow! I just can't imagine how cramped this is with 170 people.
Unfortunately, this year you will not be able to experience this.
No, but this is a good. Hold on.
That's how.
Is that okay?
Yeah. No.
No, I'm not sitting. I'm standing.
You're sitting in the. Oh, okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
So they were facing this direction.
I see.
I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable.
Yeah.
But what about the guy down there? He cannot have been too comfortable. So when you took this one out and you were rowing, how long did you go for?
2 hours it was. But there was service, a tugboat also, and one other with seals for, you know, if something happens, protection,
I see.
for safety reasons.
Let's see if we can get another view out here.
Be careful.
I'm good. I'm good. How heavy? How much does it weigh? The oar?
I don't remember. Maybe 10 kilos.
10 kilos.
Yeah. And
But the Persians had the same type of ships, didn't
no,
they?
they had very large vessels, which had lacking maneuverability. So these small ones were able to ram them easily.
That's why, was it
Yeah.
Themistocles? The general? I think it was.
Yes.
He wanted to,
That
he tricked them into that strait
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's where they couldn't maneuver.
Exactly. So this vessel is able to make a U-turn in less than a minute, I think. And the area, the space she needs to make this turn, it's only about 2.5 her length.
I see.
So
So they had no chance, and then they were just rammed one boat after the other.
yeah, also the fact that it has only 1 meter of
The
the depth.
of the ship is only 1 meter.
So this makes her very flexible.
Oh, I see, I see. So you can sail in very shallow
Yes,
rivers,
yes,
and
of course.
that's great.
And the other ships trapped in the shallow waters.
I see, I see. So the Persian, their ships were heavier and less
Yes.
maneuverable.
Yeah. That's how this was going.
And they stuck into the reefs.
And then Greece was saved. Well, he wasn't saved. Xerxes left. I might make a video. It's a very interesting, this whole battle actually, when how the Greek city-states came together and eventually defeated the Persians and made them withdraw. But it's we can't cover all that now. You made that look so easy. Well. Just one last look at this is probably the only time in my life I'll be on a trireme, so. Thumbnail hunt.
Got a bounce? Fireballs! Ramming speed!
Notice the arch, how it goes up and comes down. They said it was because to absorb the shock from the ram up front when they ram into an enemy ship. It's interesting you said that the people who rode them were not slaves.
Yeah.
Was that only in that war? Because I know the Romans, they had
Yeah, they
the galley
had
slaves.
Only in Athens.
And in that war, or was that a feature of these ships, like throughout the existence of the old Athenian?
Usually, you know, Athens is considered that in Athens the democracy was born. So I think after the wars and during the Persian Wars, the more wealthy Athenians understand that even the poor ones had the value to the society, so they gave them the right.
Is he saying poor people have value? That is an outrageous claim. I'm joking. You're right, you're very right.
That's what I...
Giving everyone a stake in society, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
helps people.
And also they have sword and spear, the sailors. And if it was necessary, they fight also.
So once this, let's say this is rammed into a ship and it's stuck, it's not
When
just
it's
the hoplites, everyone could come up
Yes.
and slay everyone on the other ship.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Oh, I'd love to see that. A real
I don't think so.
maybe not. Well, as a spectator, you know, if you run that ship over there, so. Wow, this is great, fantastic. Thank you so much for
Xerxes saw the battle from that mountain over there.
Yeah.
Oh
Straight
really?
ahead.
Because I heard that he built a throne
Yes,
to
yes,
sit
yes,
and watch.
yes.
But I didn't know it was here.
This mountain straight ahead, over the stadium.
So that's the Olympiacos Stadium.
Yes?
So up there in the year, let me see, was this 479 BC? Was it four? I think that was it. 480 or 480 BC. Xerxes was fuming up on that mountain, lost the battle, and then went back to. He didn't want to be on the fringes of his empire as it was collapsing. But the Persians did stay here actually for. There were other battles. There was another sea battle later on, which the Greeks won again.
In Artemisia.
Yes, and that's when that was it. That was the defeat of the Persian Empire.
First in Platees, after the Battle of Salamis, and the final battle was in Artemisia.
And that is when the serpent column was built, the famous one that was still is in Constantinople. Inside the hippodrome there is a column called the serpent column, and it was built by the victors to commemorate that war. So the column's still standing there today, even though it's lost the three snakes on its head. So okay, enough history. People getting bored. Thank you so much, guy. This is awesome. Great ship.
Welcome.
This was amazing to see with my own eyes. I didn't know that you actually had built a replica like this. I mean, this should be
unique.
How many people come here, like tourists, or is like normally, like last year?
Last year, I think.
When I was here before 2 years, we have done 9 rows with people. So, and it was fully booked.
Oh, so it is normally fully booked. It's a
Yes,
popular
of course
thing.
it is.
Okay. Because this should be, I mean, this is the coolest attraction I have seen. Up there, it's up there with, it's better than the museums actually, I think, to be here and see this. Okay, one last look, and then we're going to go off the ship. So who would, he would be in command, the person in that seat?
Trireme.
He would be the boss of this whole ship.
Yes.
Hold on, let me sneak down here. One more look. Oops. So when you were controlling these, you were standing there
Yeah.
and controlling the. I see.
This goes till up here. So you are there.
Incredible sight. But let's get out of here before I overstay my welcome with this special edition of Herald Investigates. But what if you're in Athens, come down here and see if this is open and if you can do a tour. This is absolutely fantastic. Favorite experience in Athens thus far. Should we get off the ship? All right.
Okay.
Again, thank you so much. This was absolutely fantastic. Thank you. No entry. So that is the mountain that Xerxes had his throne, where he saw the battle and his fleet meet its timely demise, and his dreams of conquering the Greeks and bringing them into the Persian Empire were shattered once and for all. That's it. The video is ending, guys. I was able to get some iPhone footage, and it's a bit, if I was on a boat alone, I would have told you more about how the Persians were defeated. It's a bit difficult for me to tell to do a history slash talking video when there's other people present, but this video would never have happened unless they gave me special permission to go on here and do a little tour of these boats. I mean, absolutely amazing. I love this experience. This was the favorite piece of history I have seen on this trip so far. I must say, put this top of your list when you come to Athens to come and see this trireme. So now we are signing off.